Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Recently I did a flip through of the Hocus Pocus deck from Disney, and I already announced in that video that I'm also intended to do a flip through of the Disney Villains deck, which I have in front of me right now. You can find my flip through of the Hocus Pocus deck on my channel in the playlist unboxing and reviews, I suspect. I'm not quite sure if it's in that playlist, and otherwise you will also find it in the playlist Pick a Card, because like in this reading, I also going to end this flip through with a short pick a card with one card reading for you. Now, to go into the deck, I can't wait to open it. So let's first show you the box, which is very much in line with the theme from Hocus Pocus. As you can see, it's quite similarly themed. The colors are almost the same. This one has a starry night and some golden speckles on the front of the box. This one only has the gold lettering and the contrast between the matte finish box and the shiny images in front of it. I will show you all sides of this deck, of the box and the back of it. Now, as the name suggests, this deck is inspired by various Disney villains from Disney movies. So we're going to see what that's all about. A nice contrast that the outside of the box is purple and the inside is green with this very filigree-like fine pattern, which gives it some cachet, and of course a booklet. And I will come back to this booklet after I have shown you all of the cards. As you can see, 1 page per card for the minor arcana and 2 pages for the major arcana with colored renditions of the images on the cards, and there's also some reading patterns for you to try out and explore. And both upright and reversed meanings are addressed in this booklet. Now, if we continue with unpacking, we find this beautiful purple ribbon. Like I said in the previous flip through, can't go wrong there. Purple is pretty much my favorite color. And the back of the cards is matte finish. The entire card is matte finish, the front as well. And it has that fine filigree-like pattern on it. The cards are flexible but of good quality, easy to shuffle if you like more elaborate ways of shuffling, like that croupier style. I don't know what it's called, and I suck at it, but nice contrast if you look at the top and the bottom of the box, where the bottom of the box is green on the outside and purple on the inside, and the top is purple on the outside and green on the inside. Nice detail. Really like that. Now, like I said, the cardstock is matte finish and comfortable to handle. The sizes, if you have small hands, is very good to handle for various ways of shuffling. Now let's go through the images of the deck. And I must admit that I'm not familiar with all of the villains in this deck. The High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. This one I remember. This one's from Jungle Book. And the Hierophant. True Love, which is the Lover's card in traditional decks. The Chariot, very funny, well chosen. The Strength card, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, or maybe the Wheel of Misfortune in this case. A Justice card. In the booklet, there are all of the villains are named. So if you're not familiar with any of the villains, I'm sure you can find more on them on the internet. Use a Google search. This also is from Jungle Book. I remember reading the Jungle Book story as a child. It really fascinated me. With little Mowgli. This is the Death card. Very appropriate. This is Hades. So very appropriate. Temperance. Jetsam and Flotsam. And the Devil card. Very unique. Usually the Devil card has a lot of reds, purples and blacks. This is an entirely different aesthetic for this card. Rapunzel's Tower. I also must say that I do like this lining on the cards. We have the Star. It's the Magic Mirror. The Moon. They're very new, so they're kind of not really sticky, but difficult to separate. The Sun card. The Judgment card. This is from Alice in Wonderland. And the World card. Wow, I've never seen such a sinister World card. This is really something else. And we continue with the King of Wands, which seems from Aladdin. It's been way too long since I watched that movie. The Queen of Wands. very appropriate from Snow White, I think. And the Knight of Wands. The Page of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Oh, again, very sinister looking, scary looking card. The Two of Wands. The Three of Wands. It shows us a bubbling cauldron with 3 wands floating above it. The Four of Wands. The Five of Wands. The Six of Wands. The Seven of Wands. I do like this art style. It's very Disney, very simplistic. The Eight of Wands. And in contrast to the Hocus Pocus deck, the meanings of the cards, especially the minor arcana, are much more relatable to the images. The Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands. The King of Coins. Queen of Coins. A very unique way of showing a Queen of Coins. The Knight of Coins. The Page of Coins. And the Ace of Coins. The Two of Coins. The Three of Coins. These are from the Lion King. And the Four of Coins. The Five of Coins. The Six of Coins. Very original to show it like this. The Seven of Coins. The Eight of Coins. The Nine of Coins, very similar to the Six of Coins. The Ten of Coins. And the King of Swords. The Queen of Swords. Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords. As you can see, these cards are much more traditional imagery. And the Four of Swords. Yeah, it's the Four of Swords. The Five of Swords. The Six of Swords. The Seven of Swords. The Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords. Then we move on to the Cups, the King of Cups. The Queen of Cups. The Knight of Cups. And the Page of Cups. The Ace of Cups. The Two of Cups. The Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups. The Eight of Cups. And the Nine of Cups. And the last one, the Ten of Cups. Now, let me get into this booklet for a moment. And let's see if I can... Right, the author is Minerva Siegel. And the illustrator is Ellie Goldwine. And I think we should pay more attention to the illustrators of decks, because they are usually mentioned as an afterthought. But it's the imagery and the artwork that is very defining on how a tarot works for you, and if you're attracted to it, and what the symbolism is and everything. And it's a lot of work. It's 78 cards that need to be drawn, so it's quite a job. It has a little introduction Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all? A little bit of an explanation about your deck. And then we go into the major arcana, which are easily segmented in the booklet because of the colored side. You can see this darker band of pages. So if you want to look up a major arcana, it's much easier to find. And then we have the minor arcana. And the major arcana show a little bit of an introduction, as well as an upright and a reversed meaning. And the minor arcana, they skip the introduction, but they do give both meanings for upright and reversed. And in the end, they also give you some pointers on how to read, and a few fairy tale, Disney story related spreads that you can use and explore, which I find very original. And this book, just as that other booklet from Hocus Pocus, you can see it a little. It has like this watermark print on the page. Very, very beautiful. I like the attention to detail in these decks, and they are very beautiful, and I find it very original that Disney ventured into the tarot realm. And so, yeah, I like that. I think that's very, very original and cute. And original to choose the villains for a deck. Now, I will shuffle and I will start the pick a card reading. So I do draw 4 cards, but if more come out, I will take them. So we will see how many options ultimately will be, and then I will read from the booklet for the explanation of the card. I do not have reversed cards at this point. Usually I turn over a few cards. I ask the deck to show me which cards need to be reversed during shuffling, and then the cards that stick out get reversed. Also, with these card backs, you cannot distinguish upright from reversed cards, which with the Hocus Pocus deck you could, because there was a slight difference in color from the top to the bottom. So there you could see when you have a card upside down or in its reversed meaning, and here you don't. Gives less tension while doing readings. Okay, now let's go for option 1. Option 2. Alright, it's this one. Option 3. Option 4. And option 5. we have 5 cards to choose from. You can choose one or you can choose multiple, and I give you some time while I take a sip of my tea. So this is option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and option 5. Now let's turn them over. Option 1, your card is the Strength card. Like I promised, I will get the booklet and read from it. Brutus and Nero are Madame Medusa's enormous crocodile sidekicks. Despite their imposing size, might and muscle, little orphan Penny isn't afraid of them. The tarot card Strength carries the lesson that true power doesn't come from crocodile-like physical strength, but rather from courage, inner resolve, and compassion. The upright meaning: though you may not find yourself faced with actual crocodiles, strength is a positive sign that you have the determination, good sense, and outright gumption to meet any challenge head-on and come out on top. For best results, channel Penny's bravery, kindness, and perseverance. This card is also a sign to persuade and guide others gently, and a warning against using force or ultimatums to get your way. Reversed meaning: when reversed, Strength represents an unhealthy or unbalanced relationship with leadership. Madame Medusa isn't particularly nice to Brutus and Nero, and this eventually backfires on her when the crocodiles change their allegiance. If you find yourself feeling powerless or dejected, this card is a reminder that you have more power in the situation than you think you do. Pick yourself up and be brave. I do like the descriptions in this booklet. For option 2, you have the King of Coins. Now let me find that one. The King of Coins. Upright, the King of Coins is passionate about business and wealth management, and he has the experience and skills to back it up. Like Prince John, he loves money, material comforts, and the finer things in life. If this card is drawn in a tarot reading about money or business, it's a positive sign denoting success and abundance. Reversed, Prince John gets carried away with his love of gold as he taxes the poor more and more to increase his own personal wealth. Reversed, the King of Coins symbolizes bad money management or a preoccupation with wealth and status. This tarot card encourages you to reevaluate your relationship with money and material possessions. Now I read both explanations, and I do that because in a reading it's never black and white. It's never solely upright or reversed. Both meanings need to be taken into account. And therefore some readers don't necessarily use reversed cards because they in every reading also take into account the reversed meaning. And sometimes the surrounding cards in a normal reading can tell you more about how that card is aligned, whether it's upright or reversed. Sometimes it's also just a matter of using your intuition to kind of probe with your intuition to see which meanings are applicable in this reading. But for you who made a choice out of these options, both meanings are applicable to the card, and they can, both upright and reversed, can be actually the message. They do not exclude each other. So that's, and also, of course, to give you a little insight in what the descriptions of the cards in this booklet are. So that was a bit of a side note. Let's go for option 3, and we have a reversed one, and it's the 8 of Wands. I will keep it upright for you to see. That usually helps with interpreting. If you see it upright first and then you turn it over, you can actually feel, see, and sense the change in energy. So this is a reversed card, the 8 of Wands. So let me find that. The 8 of Wands. Upright, 8 of Wands shows that lots of things in your life are changing very quickly. You're heading into a fast-paced time. Don't get bogged down in the details. Instead, try to go with this new flow and use the momentum of power, your creativity. Use the momentum to power your creativity. Inspiration is everywhere. Reversed meaning suggests you're struggling to adjust to a change in your life. Resisting progress won't get you anywhere, so try to move forward with an open mind. This card indicates you're having trouble seeing the positives in this situation, but rest assured, they're here. You just need to adjust your perspective to make the most of this situation. I find the descriptions very interesting and very original compared to many of the other decks that I have. So very well done, actually. The 4th option is this Sinister World card. It's really sinister. Alright, let me find the page in the booklet and I will read it to you. The world represents completion, transformation, and achieving goals that have long been worked towards, such as the moment the mysterious, feared, Horned King is finally able to summon the Cauldron Born. Upright, you are at the end of a long, arduous journey and success is at hand. Savor the moment by reflecting on everything it took for you to get here. You've worked hard and are finally achieving your long-term goals. Pause to enjoy your success before stepping into the next phase of your life. The world calls for celebration. Reversed, the world indicates you're struggling to move forward. Are you having trouble getting over a personal failure or consumed by regret over something that happened in the past? This tarot card is a wake-up call. Your remorse is sabotaging your success. Make peace with the past so you can move forward into the future unencumbered. There are so many amazing things waiting for you just ahead. And the last option is the Queen of Wands. So let me find her. The Queen of Wands. Upright. So who is the fairest one of all? The Queen of Wands, of course. She is a beautiful, regal figure who turns heads at the moment she walks into a room. Like the Queen, she is graceful, stylish, and commands the respect and admiration of those around her. This card suggests it's time to be bold and expressive. Your authenticity is charming. Reversed, the Queen needs constant reassurance from the magic mirror that she is the fairest in the land. Have you been relying a little too much on validation from others? The Queen of Wands, when reversed, becomes vain and temperamental. Remember that true beauty comes from within. These cards and the descriptions from the booklet, they certainly give a lot to ponder about, and they also kind of gently point towards the dark side that we all have. We all have a shadow side, and we all express at points in our life some aspects of one of or more of these villains. And sometimes villains are just very hurt people who hurt people because of their own pain. And this deck kind of helps you to see that, to see the darkness, the shadow aspects of yourself. And it does so in a light-hearted, humorous, the Disney way. And it shows you things to ponder about, to think about, and questions to ask yourself, and see whether you can see some similarities with the behavior of these villains in your own life. I very much applaud both of them, as well as the Hocus Pocus deck. I applaud the attempts of Disney for these decks. I find them very high quality. They are very much Disney, and they have this light-hearted humor approach, as well as very deep messages that really make you think. So the messaging from the booklets from both decks is excellent. And the images on the cards are very typical Disney, very, that is the Disney atmosphere, definitely there. There's a lot of attention to detail. The quality of the cards is very good. And I find both of them very enjoyable. Like I said, it has a bit of a lighthearted approach to sometimes very heavy messages or topics. So I think this is an excellent addition to my collection, and would I advise anyone to get this deck? Yes. Like I said with the Hocus Pocus deck, if you are into a bit of humor, you will like the style, the art style, the comic style, I would definitely recommend these decks. Especially if you use the booklet, because it's sometimes the quality of the descriptions from tarot decks can lack, but that's definitely not the case here. And the Villains tarot deck, especially the minor arcana, adhere much more to the traditional imageries and meanings from the cards related to the Rider Waite, which is kind of the tarot standard of today. So I would say this deck is much easier to read than the Hocus Pocus deck, especially for beginners. But yeah, I would say if you are a collector of decks, you cannot leave this one behind, and that goes the same for the Hocus Pocus deck. So well done, Disney. A very nice, good, workable decks with the usually light-hearted approach that we know from Disney, as well as very deep messages that really make you think. And this deck is, I would say, particularly well suited for questions surrounding self-development, shadow work, ulterior motives, trying to probe beneath the surface, you know, the undercurrents of things. So I would say this deck is excellently equipped for that type of questions. Now, I hope you enjoyed this flip through and this tiny little pick a card reading, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye bye.